The massive space station Harmony hung like a jewel against the backdrop of swirling nebula clouds. Inside its gleaming corridors, Ambassador Alex Bennett straightened his dark blue uniform and took a deep breath. Today marked his first official day as humanity's representative to the Galactic Diplomatic Corps. "Ambassador Bennett, the Council is ready for you," said a small green alien with 4 arms. Its voice sounded like wind chimes. Alex nodded. "Thank you." He followed the alien through wide hallways, filled with creatures from 100 different worlds. Some had scales, others had fur. Some floated above the ground, while others moved on many legs. All of them stared at the human as he passed. Alex kept his face calm, but his heart beat fast. Earth had only joined the galactic community 3 years ago, when alien ships first landed in major cities across the planet. Now he carried the hopes of all humanity on his shoulders. The doors to the council chamber slid open. Inside, 20 representatives from the most powerful species in the galaxy sat in a half-circle. Their seats rose high above the floor where Alex stood. The message was clear. He was here to be judged. "Ambassador Bennett of Earth," announced a tall, blue-skinned alien. "We welcome you to the Galactic Diplomatic Corps." "Thank you, High Counselor," Alex said, his voice steady. "It is an honor to represent Earth among the stars." From the side of the room came a low growl. Alex turned to see a group of large, muscular aliens with gray skin and sharp teeth. The Vorkians. Earth's intelligence briefings had warned him about them. They ruled over 30 planets and believed strength was the only thing that mattered. "Why do we waste time with this soft creature?" asked their leader, a scared Vorkian named Kraz. "Humans are from a backwater world. They have nothing to offer the galaxy." Alex smiled politely. "We may be newcomers, Delegate Kraz, but Earth has much to share. Our cultures, our art, our unique perspective." "Cultures? Art?" Kraz laughed, showing pointed teeth. "The galaxy needs resources and power, not songs and pictures." The High Counselor raised a hand. "That is enough. Ambassador Bennett has been accepted by vote of this council. He will have the same rights as any diplomat here." For the next 3 hours, Alex listened and learned. He noted which species were friendly to each other and which were not. He watched how the Vorkians bullied smaller aliens and how others avoided their gaze. 1 week later, Alex got his chance to prove himself. 2 trading species, the Tellarites and the Mokans, were close to war over shipping routes near their worlds. The Vorkians had tried to solve the problem by suggesting military patrols that would have given them control of the area. Alex studied both sides carefully and found a solution: a shared schedule that would let both species use the best routes in turns. His plan also included a joint monitoring system that would build trust between the former enemies. When both sides agreed to his plan, applause filled the council chamber. Even the High Counselor nodded with approval. The Vorkians did not clap. Kraz stared at Alex with cold eyes. "Enjoy this small victory, human," he said as they left the chamber. "You won't have many more." Alex just smiled. He had much work to do, and this was only the beginning. 3 weeks after his diplomatic success, Alex walked through the quieter sections of Harmony Station. The annual diplomatic reception was ending, and he needed a moment alone. The constant smiles and careful words had left him tired. The corridor he chose was empty and curved gently around the outer edge of the station. Through large windows, he could see the stars and the ships that moved between them. Some of those ships were from Earth. The sight made him smile. "Enjoying the view, human?" Alex turned quickly. Kraz stood there with 4 other Vorkians. Their massive gray bodies blocked the corridor in both directions. "Delegate Kraz," Alex said with a polite nod. "Yes, the view is quite beautiful." Kraz moved closer. His breath smelled like metal. "I was not talking about the stars. I meant the ships, your pitiful human ships." Alex kept his face neutral. "Our vessels serve their purpose. Their purpose is to make the rest of us laugh," said one of the other Vorkians. The others chuckled. Alex tried to step around them. "If you'll excuse me, I have reports to file." A large gray hand pushed him back. Not hard enough to hurt, but the message was clear. "We have not finished our discussion," Kraz said. His yellow eyes narrowed. "You embarrassed me in the council. Your little solution to the trade route problem ruined my plan for Vorkian patrols. The council approved my proposal because it was fair to both sides," Alex said calmly. Kraz growled. "Fair? The galaxy is not about fair. It is about power." He poked a thick finger against Alex's chest. "And you humans have none." Alex remembered his training. "Stay calm. Don't show fear. Look for a peaceful exit." "This conversation isn't productive," Alex said. "I suggest we both return to our duties." "Always hiding behind words," Kraz said. "This is why no one respects your kind. You are soft, weak." The circle of Vorkians tightened around him. "Let me pass," Alex said, his voice harder now. Kraz laughed and suddenly shoved Alex against the wall. The impact knocked the air from his lungs. "What will you do, little diplomat? Call for help?" Alex straightened himself. Every human diplomat received basic combat training. Not to fight, but to survive long enough for help to arrive. He had hoped never to use those skills. "This is your last warning," Alex said. "Step aside." Instead, Kraz swung a heavy fist at Alex's head. Years of training took over. Alex ducked under the punch and moved to the side. Another Vorkian grabbed for him, but Alex twisted away. "He's quick for a human," one of them said with surprise. Kraz growled and charged forward. Alex used the alien's momentum against him, shifting his weight and sending the larger being crashing into the wall. The other Vorkians attacked all at once. Alex blocked, dodged, and when necessary, struck back. His heart pounded, but his mind stayed clear. He knew he couldn't win against all of them, but he wouldn't go down easily. A fist caught him in the ribs. Pain flashed through his body. Another blow hit his shoulder. Alex stumbled but kept his feet. "Security alert in Section 7B," announced a voice from hidden speakers. "Security teams responding." The Vorkians hesitated. Kraz wiped purple blood from his mouth where Alex had landed a solid hit. "This isn't over, human," he snarled as they backed away. Alex leaned against the wall, breathing hard. Above him, a small security camera blinked with a red light. The entire incident had been recorded. "No," Alex said quietly as the Vorkians retreated. "I don't think it is." News of the attack spread through Harmony Station faster than light through space. By morning, every diplomat knew what had happened. In the station's medical center, Alex sat on an examination table while a blue-skinned doctor scanned his injuries. 3 bruised ribs, a sprained wrist, and minor cuts. The doctor said, "For someone who faced 5 Vorkians, you are in surprisingly good shape." Alex winced as the doctor applied a healing gel to his side. "I got lucky." The doctor's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. The Vorkians did not think so. 2 of them are in treatment for broken bones. Before Alex could respond, the door slid open. The High Counselor entered, looking more serious than usual. "Ambassador Bennett," the tall alien said, "how severe are your injuries?" "I'll heal quickly," Alex said. "Humans are good at that." The High Counselor nodded. "The Council has reviewed the security recordings. There is no question that the Vorkians attacked you without cause." "What happens now?" Alex asked. "An emergency session has been called. The Vorkian government must answer for this breach of diplomatic rules." The High Counselor paused. "We have also informed Earth. Your leaders are upset." That was probably an understatement, Alex thought. He could imagine the reaction back home. Far from Harmony Station, on the blue-green planet called Earth, the Global Defense Council gathered in an underground room. Large screens showed the attack from multiple angles. Admiral Susan Hayes watched the recording for the 3rd time. Her eyes narrowed as she saw Ambassador Bennett defend himself against aliens twice his size. The Vorkins have violated every diplomatic rule, said one of the counselors. This is an act of war. It's an act of stupidity, Susan said, but not worth starting a galactic war over. Another counselor leaned forward. What do you suggest, Admiral? Susan thought carefully. Earth was still new to the galactic community. How they responded would shape how other species viewed humans for generations. We do something unexpected, she said. We demand justice through proper channels. That's it. Someone asked. Just file a complaint. Susan smiled. The Vorkians expect us to either run away in fear or attack in anger. When we do neither, it will confuse them. Meanwhile, we move additional ships near Harmony Station, not as a threat, but as a reminder. Back on Harmony, Alex prepared for the emergency council session. Despite his injuries, he stood straight in his formal uniform. The human delegation may speak, said the High Counselor when Alex entered the Great Chamber. Every seat was filled. Even species that rarely attended were present. All eyes focused on the human as he walked to the center of the room. Members of the Galactic Council, Alex began, his voice clear and strong. Last night, I was attacked without provocation by members of the Vorkian diplomatic team. He looked directly at Kraz, who sat with his delegation. Earth does not seek revenge. We seek justice. We request that those responsible be removed from diplomatic service, and that the Vorkian government acknowledge this violation of galactic law. Murmurs filled the chamber. Many had expected threats or demands for punishment. A message flashed on Alex's personal device. It was from Admiral Hayes. Ships in position. Standing by. Alex tucked the device away. He had made Earth's position clear. Now it was time to see how the galaxy would respond. 3 days after the attack, Alex sat in the medical ward watching the stars through a large window. His body ached less today. The medical staff seemed surprised by his rapid healing. Your cellular regeneration is fascinating, said Dr. Laya, the station's chief medical officer. Her translucent skin showed the outline of her organs. Most species would still be in serious pain after such injuries. Alex shrugged, then winced as the movement pulled at his healing ribs. Humans evolved to recover quickly from injuries. It helped us survive on Earth. Dr. Laya made notes on her tablet. And your pain tolerance is remarkable. You were walking minutes after the attack. A Melbari would have been unconscious for days. Before Alex could respond, the door chimed. A tall, slender alien with glowing patterns on her skin entered. Alex recognized her as Ilara, the representative from the peaceful Lumidian species. Ambassador Bennett, she said in a musical voice, I hope I am not disturbing you. Not at all, Alex said. Please, sit down. Ilara settled gracefully into a chair beside his bed. I wanted to express my concern about what happened. The Vorkins have used such tactics before, but never so openly. Have other species been attacked? Alex asked. Ilara's skin patterns darkened. Yes. The Melbari withdrew their diplomat last year after a similar incident. The Jaxari declared war and lost 3 colony worlds to Vorkian forces. Alex frowned. So they either intimidate species into leaving, or provoke them into a war they can't win. Exactly, Ilara said. But your response has confused them. You neither fled nor attacked. The entire diplomatic community is talking about it. Across the station, in the Vorkian embassy, Kraz paced angrily. His superior, War Commander Vex, watched from behind a large desk. You promised this would work, Vex growled. You said the human would either withdraw or demand military action. Kraz stopped pacing. That is what happens every time. No species has ever just asked for diplomatic consequences. Vex planned a fist on his desk. Now the Council is investigating all our previous incidents. 3 species have already filed formal complaints about past intimidation. The humans are using legal procedures as a weapon, Kraz said with disbelief. Who does that? Back in the medical ward, Alex received another visitor. The High Counselor entered with 2 assistants who carried stacks of data tablets. Ambassador Bennett, the tall alien, said, "The Vorkian government has responded to the Council's inquiry." Alex sat up straighter. "What do they say?" "They claim it was a cultural misunderstanding." The High Counselor's voice held no emotion, but the color of his skin darkened with anger. "They suggest that on their world, physical confrontation is a normal part of diplomatic relations." "That's ridiculous," Alex said. "Indeed, but it raises an important question." The High Counselor leaned closer. "How did you, a supposedly fragile human, fight off 5 Vorkian warriors? Many council members are curious about this." Alex thought carefully before answering. Earth was still new to the galactic community. How much should he reveal about human capabilities? "The Council has scheduled a special hearing tomorrow," the High Counselor continued. "They wish to understand more about humans and why the Vorkans may have targeted you specifically." "I'll be there," Alex promised. After the High Counselor left, Alex looked out at the stars again. Tomorrow would change how the galaxy saw humanity forever. The council chamber was more crowded than Alex had ever seen it. Representatives from every species in the galactic community filled the seats. Many stood along the walls just to watch. At the center of the room, large screens showed the security footage of the attack. Alex watched himself dodge and block the Vorkians' attacks. The room was silent except for the sounds of the fight. When the recording ended, the High Counselor spoke. "We have asked Professor Zorla, the station's expert on xenobiology, to explain what we have just witnessed." A small, wrinkled alien with 6 thin arms floated to the center of the room. His hover chair hummed softly. "Members of the Council," Professor Zorla began, "what you saw may seem unremarkable, but it reveals something extraordinary about humans." The professor touched a control, and a new image appeared. It showed the internal structure of a human body. Humans evolved on a planet with high gravity, extreme temperature changes, and dangerous predators. Their bodies developed remarkable adaptations. The image changed to show a running human. Most galactic species evolved as ambush predators or quick sprinters. Humans are what we call persistence predators. They cannot run as fast as many animals, but they can run for much longer. Murmurs filled the chamber. The Vorkian delegation shifted uncomfortably. In primitive times, humans would chase prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. This required incredible endurance, efficient cooling through sweat, and the ability to keep moving despite pain or injury. Professor Zorla turned to face Alex. Ambassador Bennett was not using special technology or weapons. He was using abilities all humans naturally possess. The High Counselor leaned forward. "Are you saying humans are physically superior to other species?" "Not superior," Zorla corrected. "Different. Humans have average strength compared to many species. But their endurance, healing ability, and pain tolerance exceed most galactic standards." Another image appeared, showing Earth. Humans call their homeworld Earth. By our classification system, it would be considered a death world, a planet with environmental conditions so harsh that most galactic species could not survive there without extensive protection. The council chamber erupted with voices. The idea that humans came from a death world changed everything. Species from such planets were rare and usually highly dangerous. Kraz stood up from the Vorkian section. "This proves humans are a threat. They have hidden their true nature." Alex rose to speak. "We have hidden nothing. Your own scientists could have studied Earth's conditions at any time. We assumed you knew." The High Counselor called for order. "The question before us is not about Earth's classification. It is about the unprovoked attack on a diplomat. The Council will vote on appropriate sanctions against the Vorkian delegation." As the voting began, Alex noticed many representatives looking at him differently. There was still curiosity, but now there was also respect, and in some cases, caution. An aide brought Alex a message from Admiral Hayes. "Word of the hearing is spreading through human colonies. People are proud of how you handled yourself. Stay strong." Alex tucked the message away. The truth about humans was finally out, for better or worse. They were not the fragile newcomers many had assumed, but survivors from a world that had shaped them into something uniquely resilient. The vote was unanimous. For the first time in Galactic Council history, a diplomatic delegation would be suspended pending a full investigation. The Vorkian representatives must leave Harmony Station within 2 days, announced the High Counselor. Further sanctions will be decided after our investigation is complete. Kraz stood up, his face dark with anger. "This is an outrage. The human provoked us. The security footage shows otherwise," the High Counselor said calmly. "Your government will be notified of the Council's decision immediately." As the chamber emptied, many representatives stopped to speak briefly with Alex. Some offered support. Others simply wanted a closer look at the human from the death world. Alex returned to his quarters feeling exhausted but satisfied. Justice had been served. Then his communication screen lit up with an urgent message from Earth. "Ambassador Bennett," said a serious-looking man. "I'm Ambassador Jack Wright, Earth's senior diplomat. I'm on my way to Harmony Station." Alex was surprised. "Sir, I didn't request additional support." "This isn't about support," Wright said. "It's about opportunity." The council meeting revealed something important about the Vorkians. "That they're bullies?" Alex asked. Wright smiled slightly. "That they're predictable. They've been using the same tactics for decades. Now, thanks to you, other species are speaking up about similar incidents." The next day, news spread through the station that 3 more species had filed formal complaints against the Vorkian government for past attacks on their diplomats. In a desperate move, the Vorkian Prime Minister sent a message to the council claiming the attacks were cultural misunderstandings and offering financial payments to smooth things over. "They believe they can buy their way out of trouble," said Ilara when she visited Alex. "The Vorkians think all problems can be solved with power or money." "What will happen to their government?" Alex asked. Ilara's skin patterns rippled with uncertainty. Without diplomatic ties, their trading partners may look elsewhere. Their economy could suffer. 2 days later, Ambassador Wright arrived at Harmony Station. He immediately requested a special meeting of the Council. "Members of the Galactic Council," Wright began when all had gathered. "Earth has studied the Vorkian situation carefully." He was older than Alex, with gray hair and a calm voice that commanded attention. "We could demand harsh punishment for the Vorkian government. We would be within our rights to do so." The chamber was silent. Everyone waited for what would come next. "Instead, we propose something different." Wright touched a control, and an image of Earth appeared. "We invite the Vorkian government to send cultural representatives to Earth. Not diplomats, but teachers, artists, and ordinary citizens." Murmurs of surprise filled the chamber. "In return, we will send human representatives to Vorkia. Through this exchange, we can build understanding that might prevent future incidents." The High Counselor leaned forward. "You are not seeking punishment." "Punishment is easy," Wright said. "Understanding is harder, but more valuable in the long run." After the meeting, Alex spoke privately with Wright. "Do you think it will work, sir?" Wright looked thoughtful. "I don't know. But I do know that strength isn't just about how hard you can hit. Sometimes it's about knowing when not to hit at all." Across the station, the remaining Vorkian staff watched the news with confusion. Humans truly were strange creatures. When given the chance to demand blood, they had chosen peace instead. 3 months passed. Harmony Station continued its slow spin against the backdrop of stars. Inside, Alex Bennett walked through the corridors, nodding to various aliens as he passed. Few stared at him now. The novelty of the human diplomat had faded, replaced by something closer to respect. Alex's communication device chimed. "Ambassador Bennett," said a voice. "Your appointment has arrived." "Thank you," Alex replied. "Please send them in." In his office, Alex straightened his uniform and checked that the refreshments were ready. The door slid open, and a Vorkian entered. She was smaller than Kraz had been, but still towered over Alex. "Ambassador Bennett," she said with a formal bow. "I am Tora, the new Vorkian representative to the Galactic Council." "Welcome to Harmony, Ambassador Tora," Alex said, gesturing to a chair designed for Vorkian physiology. "Please, sit down." Tora sat carefully. "I must begin by formally apologizing for the actions of our previous delegation. Their behavior was unacceptable." "Apology accepted," Alex said simply. "How is the cultural exchange program progressing?" Tora's expression softened. "Better than expected. The human teachers on Vorkia have opened a school that many young Vorkians now attend, and our artists on Earth have found much inspiration." "I've seen some of their work," Alex said. "The blend of Vorkian and human artistic styles is fascinating." They discussed formal matters for an hour. Trade agreements, boundary disputes, shared defense concerns. Then, as their meeting ended, Tora asked a personal question. "May I speak frankly, Ambassador?" Alex nodded. "Of course. Many on my world still don't understand why Earth chose cultural exchange over punishment. When we have enemies, we crush them. It is our way." "And how has that worked for your people?" Alex asked quietly. Tora looked down. "We have many enemies and few friends." Alex stood and walked to the window. "Humans learn something important from our own history. We call it the long game. Sometimes what seems weak in the moment proves strongest over time." "Your species is strange," Tora said. "You come from a death world. You have remarkable physical abilities, yet you choose talk over fighting whenever possible." Alex smiled. "Perhaps because we understand how destructive fighting can be. Our history is full of wars. We nearly destroyed ourselves more than once." Later that day, Alex sat in the council chamber watching Tora present Vorkia's new proposals for galactic cooperation. The chamber was less tense than it had been in months. His personal device chimed with a message from Admiral Hayes. "Cultural exchange showing positive results. Vorkian military exercises near our space have decreased by 60%. Your approach is working." As the meeting ended, the High Counselor approached Alex. "You have changed things, Ambassador Bennett," the tall alien said. "Not through force, but through understanding." "That's what diplomats do," Alex replied. Later that evening, Alex heard two junior diplomats talking in the station's garden area. "Don't insult the human delegation," one whispered to the other. "They look mild, but remember where they come from. A death world," the other replied with respect in his voice. And more importantly, the first added, "Remember how they responded when wronged. Not with weakness or rage, but with wisdom. That is true strength." Alex smiled to himself as he walked past. Perhaps that was humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy, not their physical abilities, but their hard-earned understanding that peace required more strength than war.